Hey everybody, my name is Rob Brewer and I've recently joined the CloudTech24 team, so I thought it'd be quite good to do a bit of an intro to myself, where I've come from, what I enjoy doing, why I joined the CloudTech24 team. I actually started doing installation of infrastructure for smaller businesses in my local town. I came straight out of college, I got a job installing physical cabling, Cat5, Cat6 in offices, and as well as installing things like small business server, Exchange on-prem. Cloud wasn't a thing back then, so everything was on-prem, everything was connected via VPNs or ISDN, MPLS, all those kind of old school terms that generally you don't really see that much of anymore. And that really kind of gave me a good footing to talking to customers and understanding what drives them. And coming from being a nerd as a kid, I always built PCs when I was younger. My dad was in IT when it first kind of came about. Back when I was younger, I thought that everybody knew everything about technology, so I could talk about technical stuff with anybody else that I came across. And working for that business really set me up well for the soft skilled side, where I had to really understand that not everybody knew the technical ins and outs of PC. Not everybody knew how Active Directory work and why emails work the way they work and where Exchange sits in all of that mail flow. All they cared about is that their emails work and they can send and receive them. And that really helped me understand that side of the world. And then I realized as much as I could self-learn, I didn't go to university. It was just a decision that I chose because for me personally, the background I came from, it was something that just didn't really gel with me. I thought after a while, I need to better my skills through some sort of structured learning. So I took up an apprenticeship, which was covering a lot of city and guilds and CompTIA certifications. And that again was really good to get a feel for lots of different areas of not just security, but IT. So how to do things the right way, how to set up things like ACLs, how to set up users, how to kind of really get a grip of IT from a broad spectrum. I guess you could class it as a bit of a CISSP for IT in general, if you want to kind of use that sort of term. Again, that taught me a lot. I learned a lot about IT. I learned about a lot about technical areas that I didn't really care about when I was younger because it was all very much PC based. I did a lot of gaming. I still do actually. Going through that apprenticeship opened my eyes a bit, and as part of that apprenticeship there was an internship with another company, and from there I basically sat on a service desk answering questions from military services around password resets, setting up new users, setting up mailboxes, usual service desk-esque activities. But again, there was always something missing to a degree from when I wanted to get into more technical areas. And luckily this business did have a security side to them. And I kind of got really friendly with the two people who are running security there and just said, can I get involved in some more stuff? I found the way that exploits work really interesting. I've always had a weird fascination with taking things apart and putting them back together again, understanding how things work. Yeah, an exploit may do something as the end result or as an objective, but how did it do that? How did it kind of work the way it worked? And this was back in the days of, there was an exploit called Gauss or Gauss, and it kind of no one really knew what it did because it basically would sit there and nobody knew what sort of system it was targeting. It never really detonated, and it was just, that whole thing fascinated me. So I got more involved in security there, and then from there kind of bounced around various different security roles along professional services, so delivering and engineering SIM solutions for some really high profile customers, helping engineer things like security architectures, acting as a security consultant, set up my own company as well, which is still running quite successfully under the guise of a friend of mine. And then kind of decided that there's more that I wanted to do. As much as I kept bouncing in and out of dealing with governments and nation states and these large enterprise customers that we all kind of use every day in our day-to-day lives, there was always an attraction towards supporting the smaller businesses. For me, smaller businesses need the help. And I've always thought that as much as the enterprises need the support as well, they also have some very, very skilled people working for them. And they just need a bit of support in being guided in the right direction sometimes with the right tools, the right products. They want to make sure that they're getting the best out of their vendors. Whereas smaller businesses, they don't have the people and they don't have the expertise in most cases. They run their business, they run their businesses successfully, but one incident of ransomware can completely shut a small business down. And that for me is quite saddening because it's something that I wanted to be able to support with more. And naturally the draw to CloudTech was the ability to help those smaller customers and really give them what they need and give them the support that they need, the guidance that they need around cybersecurity, what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, looking after their infrastructures, looking after their security, giving them best practice advice, helping them with security awareness and all the other good stuff that comes with security, because security is a broad area of expertise. I will never profess to be a security expert. I think anybody who says they're a security expert to a degree is maybe stretching the truth because there's so many domains in security and cybersecurity. It's impossible to be an expert in everything. I largely sit in the detect and respond space. So, looking at how we detect threats, how do we we build detection rules for that, as well as how do we build more preventative controls? How do we prevent it getting to the point of detection in the first place? And that has always been something that's attracted me. In terms of me personally, that's my career. That is a small portion of me as a person. I have 2 kids that I absolutely adore spending time with. COVID has allowed me to, silver lining and all that, allowed me to spend as much time with my kids as I possibly could do during those trying times of lockdown. And I'm forever grateful to be able to kind of see, the birth of 2 of my children and be around their development and their growth up to where they are now. Obviously, as you can probably see from behind me, obsessed with Lego, big Lego. Again, I think it goes back to that fascination of being able to take things apart and build them and see how the inner workings of it works. That whole thing, I absolutely love it. I don't know why, I just absolutely love it. So with all that said, I'm really happy to be part of the CloudTech team. Looking forward to, engaging more with the customers that we have on board, as well as talking to new customers and helping people who need the support from a cybersecurity or IT support perspective. Looking forward to speaking to everybody soon. Signing out.